Hey guys, I'm Jewel Enrile, and this week we're exploring all the spooky places you can visit here in the Philippines. From Valeta Drive to Baguio City, the country never runs out of haunted sites for you to visit. Are you ready? Let's get started. Our first stop is at the heart of Manila. Fort Santiago Intramuros has been around since the 1570s. Its rich history, stunning architecture, and delicious food make Intramuros itself a tourist spot. But there's a true horror that has been around since the Philippines colonial period. Bombings and massacres continued throughout the Spanish, American, and Japanese occupation. It's rumored that you can see headless soldiers, crying ghosts, and loitering Filipino ghosts inside a walled city. The truly brave can go into its dungeons, where thousands of Filipinos were tortured and murdered by the Japanese. Intramuros is currently open for both vaccinated and unvaccinated visitors, so visit if you dare. We don't have to go far for our next stop, Valeta Drive. This dark road in Quezon City is surrounded by well-to-do homes, with concrete walls blocking out light sources coming from the windows, and is always eerily silent. A gigantic Valeta tree marks the road, a kind of tree that has long been believed to attract and keep supernatural beings close. A hit-and-run incident, they say, started the entire myth surrounding Valeta Drive. A woman was left to die, and now she's a white lady that appeared to knock on your car door, asking for a ride. As soon as you reach her residence, you look back, and she'd be completely gone. Another version of the story claims that a University of the Philippines student was assaulted, or that a female resident was murdered and left to die on the road. Whatever the myth may be, it leaves taxi drivers wary to pick up young women from the road at night. Want to immerse yourself in a haunted experience? It's time to take a trip to Casa Vallejo in Baguio City. The historic hotel is the oldest in the city itself, built during 1909. In its time, it has been a residence for employees, a detention center for prisoners of war, and a refugee center during the 1940s. Now, the beautiful boutique hotel welcomes you, and you might just get to experience the eerie ghost still haunting its secluded halls. Our next stop is a haunted place and a memorial to learn from. The Bahay na Pula, which stands in Bulacan, was previously a house belonging to the elite Ilusorio family, who owned a hacienda in the area. During the Japanese occupation, Japanese soldiers imprisoned, murdered, tortured, and raped the men and women in Bahay na Pula. Today, the Bahay na Pula stands dilapidated. Visiting it is a thrilling experience for a ghost hunter who may get a peek at tortured souls still lingering in the residence, and a sobering experience for all of us who remember Philippine history. Our last and final destination is an enthralling mystical island, Siquijor. An island once called Isla del Fuego for the glow of fireflies is now a beautiful spot where folk healers are in abundance. Herbalists and witches make concoctions and perform rituals for those that seek them. These magical practices are multiplied tenfold by myths of shapeshifters, aswang, and tikbalang waiting in the huge trees. You can take a visit to Siquijor and enjoy the paradise it offers, or the horror it may pose. And that's a wrap for our weekly roundup. Once again, I'm Jewel Enrile, and you're watching My Beliefs. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.